Hi guys, this is Jade. Thank you for joining me over here on YouTube for another This Week in Anime. Today I am talking all about movies. And as always, these are 100% off the cuff, uncensored, unscripted, so bear with me. I kind of feel like we are in the second anime theatrical renaissance here in the United States, and the reason I say that is because we're getting a lot more anime movies in rural areas. We've always had them in big cities, or at least in the past decade, in like New York, Atlanta, and LA, but now we're starting to see more and more coming to areas like Jacksonville, Florida, which is my nearest metropolis. So I'm kind of stoked about that. In January, we actually had Funimation release One Piece Gold, which did pretty well at the box office. Viz actually released Sailor Moon R. If you haven't had a chance to go and see that, they've actually extended the theatrical runtime, and I highly recommend checking it out. I had the pleasure of seeing it, and I really enjoyed the cast interviews. Kind of wish they had been done at the end because I felt they were a little spoilery, but it was really neat to see some of the content that I haven't seen before and to hear from the cast. Especially if you can't make it to a con, this is a really good way to get some insight into the Sailor Moon franchise here in the United States. So again, if you haven't had a chance to check it out, highly recommend it. Links under the video. And in March, Sword Art Online is actually going to be getting a theatrical release. We're going to get it in Jacksonville. I'm super hyped about that. So that's fucking awesome. Thank you, Aniplex America. I really appreciate it, and appreciate you guys for tweeting back at me, basically letting me know that it was going to be in my area when I started crying and we weren't going to get it. So thanks. I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to it. So, and last but certainly not least, we are getting the release for Your Name theatrically in April, thanks to Funimation. Now, if you guys don't know what Your Name is, just Google it. You'll see it's breaking all sorts of records over in Japan. I mean, a simple Google search is going to give you pretty much everything you need to know, including that we're also going to get it subbed and dubbed in theaters, thanks to Funimation. And tickets aren't on sale yet, but once they go on sale, you know I'm going to link you to them because that's just how I am. You'll also see some information about how it might have gotten snubbed with an Oscar nomination. Whether there's truth in this or not, we don't really know, because, again, we can't really watch this movie legally here in the United States yet, so even as fans, unless we checked out the really limited screening that was required to be done in LA just so that we could have it nominated or considered for a nomination for the Oscars, unless we actually went there, we're not going to be able to weigh in if this movie was actually worth nominating or if it actually did get snubbed. So it's kind of a shame. Now, The Red Turtle was a Ghibli and a French Animation Studios collaboration. It's the first collaboration that Ghibli has done outside of Japan, and that is notable. And they did get a nomination, so that's kind of awesome. But a lot of people are talking about whether Your Name should have actually got nominated instead, or maybe both of them should have been nominated. But again, who's to say, because we can't actually legally watch these movies, and that's stupid. As fans, we should at least be able to watch the movies that are getting nominated for the Oscars, since all of the Western ones that were nominated, we did have the chance to see in theaters, like Kubo and the Two Strings, which totally deserved a nomination. It's really awesome. If you haven't seen it yet, great original story, great original style animation. I highly recommend it. So that's my little bit on the anime Oscars and the movies that are coming out theatrically. Now, talking a little bit about the streaming services here in the United States, we're actually getting a little bit of a shakeup. As some of you may know, and many of you may not know, Amazon is entering the anime streaming market. And this has caused a lot of questions. Like, for example, most of the series that are coming out here that people really want to see are already be streamed on Funimation, Crunchyroll, Daisuki, Neon Alley's, Viz, Hulu. So what really is Amazon going to be able to offer us that we cannot already get, that we're not already paying for? Speaking of paying, yes, you're going to have to pay for this new service, and by the way, the new service is called Anime Strike. If you've been following me on Twitch and Twitter, you know how dumb I think that name is, because it sounds really negative. It sounds like people are going on strike, and when I saw this being announced on Twitter, I was like, oh my god, no, don't go on strike, please, no. But no one was going on strike, so every time someone says anime strike, I just think that there's a fucking strike in anime, like the voice actors are on strike or something. I'm like, oh god, what's happening? But that's not the case at all. It's just Amazon named their service something stupid. I mean, they could have named it Anime Prime. How cool would Anime Prime have been? That sounds fucking awesome. Might have been some copyright thing. I don't know. But anyways, aside from the stupid name, you do have to pay for the service. Now, it's only $5 a month, which sounds pretty good when you're comparing it to Crunchyroll's $6 a month, right? Until you hear that you also have to be an Amazon Prime subscriber, which is going to run you $100 a month. So now you're at $160 a year in order to have anime streaming on Amazon. So that leads us back to the question of what is actually worth watching on Amazon that we're not already getting elsewhere, that we would also be paying even more for if we don't already have Amazon Prime. Now, if you already have Amazon Prime, all of this stuff might sound pretty enticing, because I have Amazon Prime, and it does sound really enticing to me. So I'm going to switch over to my other monitor here and show you guys what Anime Strike has. As you see, it has your Kyoto Saga for Blue Exorcist, which you can already get on Daisuki. Now, it does have Lyrical Girl Nanoha, and it has Chi, which are going to be exclusive for Amazon. And I think that's fucking awesome, because we really don't get enough Nanoha here in the United States. You also get stuff like Grand Blue Fantasy, which is stupid popular. Full Metal Panic, it's a fucking classic. If you haven't seen it yet and you like mecha and you like comedy, you need to be watching it. One Punch Man, Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? No Game, No Life, Akame ga Kill. Another brutal action series, really awesome. Now some of these are going to be subbed and some of them are going to be dubbed. You're not really going to get to pick and choose which ones are subbed and dubbed like you can if you go from Crunchyroll to Funimation or Funimation to Crunchyroll. But here's where Amazon is going to get you. When they did their interview with Anime News Network and basically talked about why they picked the name Anime Strike and what they were going to be offering people that they couldn't already get because they knew that question was coming, they said that Anime Strike was a name that was going to be indicative of how they're going to basically attack the anime market with content that fans already want. And we're like, well, what do we want that we can't already get? You know, that was basically the question. So, what can't we get? We can't get movies streaming. That's right, legally streaming anime movies, including Akira, Paprika, Vampire Hunter D, Children Who Chase Lost Voices, Steam Boy, The Garden of Words. I mean, I can go on and on and on, as well as the classic Tokyo Godfathers. I mean, we could talk lengths at the massive amounts of movies that Amazon is just poised to dump through Anime Strike. And that has me fucking excited. Why does that have me excited? Because, again, this is a legal opportunity to watch anime movies. Until now, we basically haven't had a way to preview our anime content when it comes to movies. We can watch episodes online legally, but we cannot watch the movies online legally. We had to basically either seek them out and find them at theaters, which, again, we didn't really have a whole lot of options for until, like, now. But now we're going to be able to preview them on Amazon through Anime Strike. Again, if you are a Prime member and if you want to pay another $5 a month. So why would you want to do that? Well, a lot of these movies are going to run you $25 to $35 a movie. Maybe you get lucky, you can pick them up on the Right Stuff sales, you know, for $10 to $15 each. But if you're already paying for Amazon Prime, at $5 a month, you're paying $60 to have access to tons and tons of movies, making an anime movie date night a lot easier without getting invested into a long-running series. And that sounds pretty good to someone like me, who just wants to sit down on the couch, cuddle with my husband, and watch something one-off. It also lets me have the experience of being able to preview my anime movies without having to commit $25 to $35 for them right when they come out. I'm going to be able to watch them on Anime Strike, and I'm going to be able to make the educated decision, let's just say, if I want to purchase it or not, rather than blind buying it or relying entirely on reviews on the internet and referrals from friends. As you guys can tell, I kind of like doing that. So again, this is probably going to lead to more collectors like me spending a lot more money on their anime, but honestly, I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm getting the chance to watch a lot more anime, I'm getting a chance to get it at a pretty reduced rate, and I'm still going to be able to pick and choose what I actually want to add to my collection based on what I really enjoyed. So I think that this is actually a pretty good thing that Amazon is doing, and they're right, they are going to be offering services and content that other distributors just weren't able to offer up because they didn't have the major partnerships with the major distributors here in the United States who are outside of the anime industry. So I think that that's really awesome. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope that if you guys are Anime Prime members, maybe you will check it out with me for the first part of this year, and we can weigh in together whether or not that was actually worth the price. So thank you guys again for joining me. I am going to do a really quick follow-up part 2 if you guys want to check part 2 if you guys want to check it out. It'll be linked up shortly, so thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this, and as always, you guys can like, subscribe, follow, whatever it is that you do, and I look forward to seeing you guys on Twitch on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So see you guys later. Thanks again for following, and I hope you have a really wonderful day. Bye.